Crazed Uber driver stabs passenger for tapping on his window. This is Uber driver Jacob Matthew Allemon. He was picking up a couple from a holiday party in Bloomfield, Michigan this past weekend. The man tapped on Allemon's window, an action that reportedly angered the 23-year-old driver. Police say Allemon felt the man disrespected his car by tapping, so he pulled into a parking lot and told the couple to get out. They asked if they could wait for another ride since there was a snowstorm on, but then Allemon started fighting the man. Allemon stabbed the man 5 times in his face, chest, and neck. But amazingly, the 49-year-old victim managed to disarm and restrain the driver until a nearby police officer arrived. The victim was treated at the hospital and released the following day. Allemon, meanwhile, was charged with assault and is being held on a $250,000 bond. Uber banned Allemon from the ride-hailing app and said the incident was appalling. Here's 4 more stories about bad Uber drivers.
Sleazy Uber driver demands passenger flash chest or give oral for ride. A woman in Toronto has put Uber on blast after she was aggressively sexually harassed by a driver who tried to strike an indecent proposal. On October 16th, 28-year-old Erica Zabo called for an Uber cab as she was leaving an event downtown. When she got into the car, she realized her phone had just died. Worried her payment wouldn't go through, she informed the driver. The driver told Zabo that the ride would not get processed, but offered an alternative means of payment: perform oral sex or flash her breasts for him. Disgusted, she refused, but the driver seemed to think it was no big deal and kept on pressing for his twisted fantasy to come true. Zabo repeatedly asked for him to let her out of the car, but the man instead offered her a third option: he'd pay for a blowjob. Eventually, he took her back to her neighborhood and she got out of the car. Soon after, she plugged her phone in to find out the ride had indeed gone through. She contacted Uber customer service, who called to apologize and refunded her $12. The dirtbag has since been dropped by the ride service as a driver, but Zabo only found out through media reports. She took to Facebook to warn others of her frighteningly common story and has filed a sexual assault report with Toronto police.
Perverted Uber driver booked for groping passenger's chest and blaming her outfit. 28-year-old Rami Botros, a driver for the ride-sharing service Uber, was booked last week in Orlando for grabbing a female passenger's chest. Rami picked up a woman when she requested a personal driver through the Uber app. But Rami got a little too personal, reportedly saying how attractive and pretty she was, before suddenly pulling over and sticking his hand down the front of her shirt. The woman was horrified but played it off, long enough to record him on her cell phone and get his business card before calling police. Rami later told investigators he thought the woman's revealing shirt and lack of bra meant she was asking for it. Nice try, Rami. Uber isn't a certified cab service, but the company says it conducts rigorous background checks on drivers like Rami, who now faces charges for battery.
This 6-year-old girl, Sophia Liu, was killed in San Francisco on New Year's Eve by a driver working for the app-based car service Uber. He ran her over because he was distracted while checking Uber's app, but Uber says it's not at fault. Syed Muzaffar had dropped off at least one Uber client earlier that evening. At 8 p.m., Sophia was walking with her mother and younger brother in the Tenderloin district. Muzaffar made a right turn at a green light onto Ellis Street toward Polk Street, just as Sophia and her family were crossing Polk Street. Sophia died. Her mother and brother were injured. Muzaffar's attorney says his client is absolutely distraught. This is the scene following the accident. The family is suing both Muzaffar and Uber. Uber says it's in no way responsible because its drivers are only working for Uber when they're serving clients. Uber wants the courts to believe that when its drivers are using its app to find clients, it doesn't count as working for Uber. Do you think Uber is partially responsible for Sophia Liu's death?
Atlanta cops investigate violent robbery by suspected fake Uber driver. Tens of thousands of people have seen a post Florida woman Taylor Cleary Corey uploaded to Facebook that alleges an Atlanta Uber driver attacked her brother. However, the ride-sharing app company and the accused Uber driver say the victim may have been fooled by imposters. Bo Cleary requested an Uber pickup near an Atlanta bar on Irby Avenue at about 2:45 a.m. on Sunday. In a viral Facebook post, Cleary's sister claims another carpool passenger was already in the Uber car that her brother got into. Bo Cleary told police the driver changed course and headed towards the 3400 block of Peachtree Road, behind Peachtree Presbyterian Church, before stopping the vehicle. Cleary told officers he was then beaten, robbed of his phone, cash, and credit card, and removed from the vehicle, whereafter at some point he lost consciousness. The suspect or suspects are then believed to have thrown Cleary down into a drainage ditch about 8 feet deep. When Cleary regained consciousness, he climbed out of the ditch and sought help. Cleary's supposed Uber driver that night says he canceled the ride and quickly picked up someone else. Uber says the tracking data supports the driver's account. Police are investigating. Another man is also claiming an Uber driver and a carpool passenger robbed him on the same evening. In that case, the victim told police he took an Uber ride from BJ Roosters on Cheshire Bridge Road and was then robbed at gunpoint. Atlanta police are looking into both cases, and Uber says it will provide all data needed to assist in the investigation. See a story that really should be animated? Suggest stories to TomoNews now.